Hello investors, welcome back to your number one place for all your investing needs. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the top 4 hot EV companies right now. Now these are going to be stocks that have great buying opportunities for long-term investors in this new booming field of electric vehicles. We will be going over their revenue, their earnings, and the future predictions. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I make videos on dividend investing, growth investing, penny stocks, and hot stocks. If that interests you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Now, before we get into the countdown, guys, can we go ahead and charge up that thumbs up button? Go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Let's get 100 plus likes on this video. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell notification so you get notified every time I make a new video. And also, leave a comment below. Do you own any of these stocks that I'm going to be talking about in the video? And also, what is your price prediction on these EV stocks for the future? Alright guys, so the number one stock on our list is going to be, you guessed it, NIO, ticker symbol NIO. So NIO obviously is currently trading at $44.56. It was down about 7.74% today, but that is because Citron actually had a downgrade pretty much, saying that it was overvalued right now, and all of the EV makers went down together actually, even though it broke an all-time high today at the beginning of the day and reached close to about $54 per share, and then we pulled back down all the way down on this news. But obviously, that's not something we're going to be looking for right now. We're looking at this stock for long term in the future, and obviously, it could be overvalued right now. As an investor, we are looking out to the future, 5, 10 years out, and seeing where NIO could be. So NIO, obviously, they're one of China's hot EV stocks right now, and I think that they're going to be doing amazing in the future. If we take a look at their earnings, actually, so previous earnings, obviously, in August, they beat by 0.09 cents, and their revenue they beat by 33.79 million. Now we have earnings coming out with NIO this week. So this week on the 17th, we have after market close. Their EPS estimate is negative 17 cents, with revenue estimates to be about 616.28 million. So we're expecting some great news from NIO, as they did just release their delivery numbers and some other information as well. Now, as you guys know, NIO has been very hot ever since they released the October 2020 delivery update. NIO announced that they delivered 5,055 vehicles in the month of October 2020, increasing by over 100% year over year. NIO delivered 31,430 vehicles in 2020 in total so far, increasing by 111.4% year over year. The deliveries totaling for the ES8, ES6, and the EC6 as of October 31st, 2020 reached 63,343 in total, obviously, which is amazing news for a stock like NIO and a company like NIO. That means that they're growing exponentially compared to last year, and they only have to go up, and that's all they're looking at right now, is to continue to trend on up. Now, this company is obviously at a market cap of about 65.66 billion. It's in the top 10, vehicle companies in the world, pretty much value wise. Now, if we take a look, obviously year to date, this stock is up 2,389%. It was trading down here at about $3.45 at the beginning of the year, and it's just been on a huge boom in the past month, especially in the past month. We were trading down here at $27, $26. Currently, we hit a high of about $54, and it made a pullback. Now, what we're going to be looking for right now is for this stock to consolidate. Hopefully, we'll have some positive news on the 17th with earnings, and that will give us a clearer outline of what is going to happen with NIO in the future, whether it's going to continue to go up or if it's going to take a little breather and consolidate and go down, depending on the revenue and what happens with the earnings call. The number 2 pick on our list is going to be ticker symbol XPEV, which is Xpeng. So Xpeng, they have 2 vehicles, the G3 super long range smart SUV, and they have the P7, which is the intelligent electric sedan with internet DNA. Now these are 2 beautiful cars right there. This stock is currently trading at $41.99. It's down about 6.13% today. Now they did hit a high actually today as well at about $51, so they went down $10 from that high, due to the data that came out from Citron, obviously, with the whole NIO situation. So that is why they made a huge pullback today, but that is just another great buying opportunity in my opinion. The company is currently, market cap is 31.05 billion. In the past month, the stock is up about 125%, trading from about $20 down here all the way to a high of $42 right now, with the 51 high, all-time 52-week high. Now, XPEV, obviously, stock rally on strong operating and financial results as a public company. They had earnings, so Xpeng reports Q3 deliveries expand 265.8% year over year and 165.7% quarter over quarter to 8,578 units. The P7 deliveries were 6,210 units versus 325 in Q2, so that is huge. The Xpeng brand super charging stations expanded to 135. Revenues from vehicle sales increased 376% to 279.6 million, mainly due to the acceleration in deliveries of the P7 since the company began its mass delivery in late June this year. Revenue from services and others grew 80.8% to 13.6 million, and then the gross margin rate was 4.6% versus negative 2.7% a year ago. Vehicle margin was 3.2% versus 10.8% a year ago. Now their Q4 guidance deliveries 10,000 vehicles and then plus 210.8% year over year, with total revenues at about 243.7%, which is about RMB 2.2 billion in their currency. So obviously, earnings just happened a couple days ago. Next earnings is going to be somewhere probably around February, around the February area. So we'll see how Xpeng continues to move in the next 2 or 3 months, going into their next earnings, and see how they're going to be going into 2021. They are going to continue to mass produce these vehicles and continue to make some serious gains in the market. Now, if you guys made it this far into the video, go ahead and smash that like button. Once again, let's try to get 100 plus likes on this video like we said earlier. Coming in at the number 3 spot, it's going to be Li Auto, ticker symbol LI. So Li Auto is currently trading at $31.20. It was down about 1.82% today. It hit a high actually of about $40.81. In the past month, it's been up about 65.87%. It had earnings actually this morning, and that's when we hit that high of $41. And then all the EV makers obviously made a pullback. Now, if we take a quick look at their earnings right here, so they had their earnings for the quarter, and net loss narrowed to about 47.2 million from a loss of about 345.2 million or 2.71 billion into RMB. And for the second quarter, the FactSet consensus was for the per share loss of RMB 0.38. Revenue rose 28.9% from the second quarter to RMB 2.51 billion, about 369.8 million in US dollars, above the FactSet consensus of RMB 2.42 billion. Gross margins improved to about 19.8% from 13.3%, and the deliveries grew 31.1% quarter over quarter to about 8,660 after growth of about 128% to about 6,604 in the second quarter. For the fourth quarter, Li Auto is expecting to deliver 11 to 12,000 vehicles, and obviously the stock has soared 27.3% on Thursday ahead of its results, following the upbeat results from fellow China-based EV makers, Xpeng, because they had earnings the day before them, and they also rallied about 10% on that day, as well as NIO, as NIO rallied as well, and NIO has earnings on the 17th, which we mentioned earlier. Now with Li Auto, those are the 3 Chinese EV companies right there that, are kind of growing and people are believing in for the long term. They're currently valued at about 26.58 billion, and they just had earnings obviously today. So their next earnings are going to be sometime around February, just like we said with Xpeng. So they all have earnings around the same time. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on NIO, Li Auto, and Xpeng for the next 2 or 3 months to see how they do going into the last quarter into 2021, and then see how they're going to do in the next year as well, to see if they're going to continue to make progress in their deliveries and continue to produce more and more vehicles, and see if they become profitable and start to make some profits in their in their market. And maybe we'll see who can compete with Tesla or who can't, and hopefully NIO is the biggest one right now in my opinion. So NIO is the one that has the highest chance of competing with a company like Tesla. And finally, we're at the number 4 spot, and you guys are going to kind of be surprised. I mean, if you're taking a quick look at this picture right here and you see this vehicle right here, you would think, wow, who's going to drive this? But there is a market for this, and the stock is Solo. So Solo is the ticker symbol for the stock, and they're currently trading at $6.29. They were up about 30.23%. So even with the other Chinese 3 EV makers down for a day, Solo did not let that news push it down. It continued to go up today. Year to date, in the past year, it's up about 126.66%. Today, if we take a look, this stock hit a high of about $7.91 at one point, and then we made a pullback, obviously, consolidated around the $6 area, and closed at $6.29 for the day. Their market cap is very, very low, so this one is, pretty much the lowest one out of the 4 stocks that we talked about. 305.17 million. Volume was huge today, over 170 million shares. Obviously, this one is very, very skeptic. So this stock is pretty much, I wouldn't say a gamble play, but it's a stock that you kind of it's not certain that it's going to do well in the future, but it has a chance. There's a high chance of success with this one, and since it's very very cheap right now, it's a good idea to see what happens, potentially in the future with it. Now, if we take a look at them, their EPS actual was negative in 16 cents, missed by 7 cents. Revenue was 251,000, beating by about 0.18. So, it wasn't that well. Now, obviously, their next earnings sometime in February. Once again, EPS estimate is going to be negative 13 cents, so a little bit better than this quarter, with revenue about 367.34, so a little bit higher than this one. But obviously, Solo is the one out of the four that I'm picking as kind of a skeptic stock. Like I said, it has potential, but it hasn't even started growing yet. This is very very new. I mean, look at the design of this vehicle. It's going to be popular, I believe, especially with the millennials are going to like this car. And I think delivery drivers and a lot of people, even I believe in China, people are going to want this car. They're definitely going to like this because it's small, and that's something that a lot of people like, these small type of vehicles, because they can just fit very easily. You can get different colors. We have the red, the white, the black, and the gray right there. I mean, it's very very small. It's kind of looking kind of like a motorcycle, pretty much. Just looks like a car and a motorcycle put together. So yeah, it's a funny looking car. But obviously Solo, that is going to be our fourth pick. There is potential with it. Obviously, there is potential that something is going to happen with it, but we will see what happens in the year from now, if this stock is going to be trading higher or lower, and what happens with their production. Now we're going to be discussing the three Chinese EV companies that we obviously discussed. So electric car sales more than doubled in the world's biggest EV market, but Tesla lags. So obviously, electric car again outpaced traditional vehicles as China auto sales continued their pandemic rebound in October. But obviously, Tesla and GM Motors are lagging behind. So sales for the new energy vehicles, the NEVs, which include electric cars, surged about 105% to 160,000, their fourth consecutive month of gains, according to the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, data reported by Reuters on Wednesday. This far outpaced overall China auto sales, which saw a 12.5 gain in October to 2.57 million vehicles. Separate data out Monday also showed a steep increase in EVs. China electric car sales soared 137% to about 121,000 in October, with an overall NEV sales hitting 144,000. The China Passenger Car Associate said total retail auto sales rose 8% to 2.02 million vehicles. Also in October, Tesla's Shanghai factory produced 22,292 Model 3 electric sedans, according to CPCA. Reports said that would suggest an annual run rate of 275,148 vehicles at its current production pace. Based on October's numbers, Tesla China could reach its 2021 target to manufacture 300,000 Model 3s by the end of the year. Tesla also plans to make 250,000 Model Ys electric crossover in 2021. So obviously Tesla is far ahead of all these four EV makers that we discussed in the video, especially Solo stock, as they're just beginning. NIO is the closest one to Tesla, but they're still miles away from Tesla. But if you guys remember, years ago, Tesla was in the same point where NIO is right now. And people were skeptics. People were saying, oh, this is overbought. This stock is overvalued. And guess what Tesla did? Tesla continued to go up, and then what did it do this year? The Tesla stock boomed all the way to about $2,500 per share, and then we had the split. So if NIO can repeat what Tesla has done in the past few years, NIO has a bright future, and I believe that Xpeng and Li Auto are also going to follow along, with Solo being a little bit smaller but still has some potential to grow in the near future. Obviously, guys, all of this data that I'm reading, this is just for educational purposes. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so before you invest into any type of stocks, make sure you talk to your financial advisor, do your own research. Make sure you know what you're doing before buying anything. Do not buy stocks based off of what I'm saying in this video. Obviously, do your own research. This is just my opinions on the stock and what I think is going to happen. And I do own some of these stocks. I own NIO in my portfolio, actually. And I believe that it has some potential growth in the future. So if you guys made it this far in the video, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Leave a comment below. What do you guys think about these four stocks? And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.